What's up, everybody? This is OLB, One Lucky Bullet, here with a review for Dragon Quest XI. This is a new, old-school JRPG from Square Enix. It actually came out last year in Japan, in July of last year, and then it finally got released over here in the US and Europe and everything on September 4th. So I've been playing this for, I don't know, a little over a week, 2 weeks now. I like the game a lot. I dig it a lot. Forewarning, I'm a big Dragon Quest fan, so I may kind of come off as a little biased, but I'm not trying to. But I do love the Dragon Quest series. If you're going into this game thinking it's going to be something, new. Or something like Final Fantasy 15, where it's like this new battle system, real flashy, and it's not. This is just a normal JRPG, turn-based battles, 4 players in your party at once for battles. Occasionally you'll have a 5th show up as like a computer-controlled character. You can do tactics, you can set everybody to auto-attack or presets for how you want them to handle battles. The enemies are visible on screen. There's no random battles, which is I love that. So they didn't keep that old school aspect of it. The story's, it's nothing you haven't seen before. You're a baby, you're born, you have the mark of the luminary. This evil kingdom attacks your kingdom that you're at. You escape with, I'm guessing that's your sister. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But, and then you end up in the river, you float down it, they find you at this little village, and they raise you. You complete a trial at the beginning of the game. You go to the kingdom of, Heldor. And you go there, because that's where you were told to go, to see the king. You go there, the king immediately throws you in jail because in his mind and in everybody else's mind, the luminary is a sign that the darkness or the demon or whatever is coming, the Lord of Shadows, is coming. And so if they isolate you, then he won't show up, which is completely asinine and stupid. So anyway, but you go to jail, you escape with the help of another party member, and then you set off on your adventure to do things. I'm not going to say too much about what you do. I will tell you it's got the open world feel to it, but it's linear. So like you have these huge areas you can run through and things you can do. Think about, what was that Switch game that just came out? Was it Xenoblade Chronicles, I think? Or I hope I said that right. But it's similar to that, where like you have these huge areas that you can go to with branching paths and all, but they all lead around, they all tie together. So I like that, but I also like how they keep the story kind of going straight forward to where you're not necessarily lost, or if you put the game down for a couple days or a week or so, you forget what you were even doing. It keeps it pretty streamlined. I love the crafting system in this game. I love the banter between your party members. When you camp, you can sit there and talk to them, or even when you open your menu, you can actually just talk to your party members if you need hints or help on where to go, or they have suggestions. It's great. I like all the characters. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to like some of them. You have this clown kind of circus juggler kind of guy. I didn't like him at first. Then he grew on me. I really like him. He's pretty badass in combat. I didn't like Victoria at first because she was annoying. And then you get some backstory. You do some quests and stuff. And all the characters are very, very well put together. You have the normal for your character, the silent protagonist, who just kind of goes around, and at times it can get annoying because you're doing fetch quests, you're doing other things, but it's an old school JRPG. So if you're going into it, you can't go into it expecting it to be like this new school revolutionary Persona 5 type of game. That's not what it is. This is an old school JRPG just like well, it's a little better than the old Dragon Quest, because in the old Dragon Quest you couldn't even see your characters. In some of the older ones, you could only just see the little menu in the front. And it would, it still does the slime hit you for 7 damage. You hit the slime defeated. It still does that, which I love that. But other than that, it's you can see your characters. It has a freeform kind of camera where you can rotate around or you can lock it. You have tons of skills. You have a freaking huge skill tree that you can level up and go through, and think about it kind of like, what was it, Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 10. They had those big skill trees that you could learn different skills, and they all kind of link together for the different jobs. So that was great. I like that a lot. A lot of depth to it. So your first playthrough, it can take you anywhere from 40 to 80 hours just to run through the story. That's not doing all the side quests or everything else you can. I mean, if you're going to dig into this game, you're probably looking at closer to 140 to 200 hours to do everything in this game. Not to mention, other stuff after that. I don't want to say anything, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you get there. I would give this game a solid 9 out of 10. It's not perfect. It's got some issues. Occasionally I had a little bit of a stutter. Sometimes, not a lot. It was only whenever I would go into like a new area and they were showing like a cutscene to like pan around the city or pan around the environment. Sometimes it just felt like it was it jerked there for a second. And it wasn't all the time, but it's nothing that can't be patched out. But I don't review games with a patch in mind. I review games for how they are now. So 9 out of 10. Besides that, the only other negative thing I could say, the music is great, but the open world music at times, you're going to get tired of hearing it. It's not because it's bad, but just because it's the same. You're going to get kind of like, okay, I'm tired of hearing this song now. I'll be glad when I get to a new area so I can hear something else. But other than that, excellent game. Highly recommended. It's $59.99. You can get it on your PS4. I know that there's a version for Steam, and there was a version for the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch, and I played it on the PS4 Pro. So that's where I'm reviewing it on. I think this is, if you're an RPG fan, this is the game that you're going to want. You're going to want to play this, and I look forward to hearing what you guys think. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave me a comment below, and we'll catch you on the next one.